Hello and welcome to this here engineering crash course. Today we'll go through the third part of the second module about prompt engineering. And today we'll talk about prompting techniques. In the last few videos, we talked about AI and engineering in general, programming languages, and many more. And in this module, we talked about challenges of prompt engineering. We gave some and defined some terms like token, temperature, pricing, context length. And in this video, we'll go through different prompt engineering techniques. So let's get started. So in terms of prompt engineering or prompting techniques, we have a lot of different techniques. The first and simplest technique is actually just telling straight to the model what to do. It's basically generally associated with zero-shot prompting. It means you just say to the model, please do this. So we can go here, for example, and say, this, your useful assistant is actually just a zero-shot prompting technique. So you can just say, be cool. This is a prompt, right? And then you can add a user saying, hello. Based on that prompt, it will answer. The prompt is actually correct, right? Now, if you want the model to be more accurate, you need to be more specific in your zero-shot prompting, of course. And for that, you have different ways of organizing the prompt to make it more interesting. First, you need to play a role. So you need to do something like role. You are something. You are an AI, let's say YouTuber with 10 subscribers. And, you explain what you kind of extremely describe the role of the AI in this case. So the AI will take that in mind and try to act as this person. And then now you can say, give the context. The context is like, okay, you know this, you should know this, you should get this, these kind of things. You should be able to advise people on YouTube. And then now from this role and this context, the AI have like a persona. From this persona will represent what the AI will try and mimic in the response. You can actually set the tone as well. If you want to, like the tone, speak like Elon Musk if you want to, or speak like a professional person, speak like this kind of person, and then you can give the task, okay? I'm just giving these parts just for reference. You don't need to write them. You may want to, but you don't need to. And then the task will be help users with their YouTube channel. So when you give this to the model will try to be as close as possible to the persona that you created, and will try to act as much as possible to the person described in your prompt. So this will give a bit more correctness to your model, to your output, because it will try to act as the person that you created, like the YouTuber with a million subscribers. If you just say, help me with my YouTube video, you are more likely to get a generic response than help me with my YouTube video. You need to know this, and you need to speak like an advisor with this kind of tone and this and this and this. You get more accurate response with this normal zero-shot prompting. So now with this, you are still out there describing a persona, but the model does not know how you want the output to be. It knows how you want him to act, but if you want to show to the model this is the kind of output I want to have, you need to go to the next level and actually implement few-shot prompting. And few-shot prompting is actually pretty simple. So what you do is you give to the model few examples of what you're expecting. So it can be, if you want the model to be able to generate YouTube script, you will say input video about AI and output the format that you want exactly. Okay, you do the same maybe 2-3 times like this. Oh, okay. And then now you can put the input here, video about data science, and then you put output empty. The AI will try to guess from what you gave as input and as examples what the output may look like. Right? So from this kind of task, giving an input and output to the model, define a bit more the structure that you want, the format that you want, the way you want it to be, more than the persona, more than the description that you gave. So if you give some kind of JSON output here, the model is more likely to give you a structural output in JSON as well. That's the reason why future prompting is actually pretty powerful. You give to the model the exact format and exact tone and structure of the output that you need, and the model learn from it to be able to generate something that's pretty close to what you gave. Yes, but apart from that, we have different other techniques here. So before going to React prompting, I first want to explain chain of thought. And to explain chain of thought, I need to go and show you the deep thinking of DeepSeek, because it's actually used some kind of chain of thought. So let me just firstly quickly explain this to you. This look like future prompting, right? You give a question, answer, question, and you expect a different answer. But now in the example that you give to the model, as I mentioned, the example give to the model the direction how it's supposed to give you an output. And in our case here, we describe in a kind of structural way, in a kind of chain, how the model should think before answering. So here you say, Roger started with 5 balls, 2 can and 3 tennis ball, each is 6 tennis ball, and then you do 5 plus 6 is equal to 11. And the model will understand your the structure you want him to answer with, and then will mimic it. And by mimicking that, it is more likely to come up with real and accurate answers. So that's the reason why chain of thought is actually quite interesting. So if you look at DeepSeek, if you go to DeepSeek and you try to search for something, let's say, how are you today? He will overthink this question surely. And you activate DeepThink as specially. So it will be, this is just a generation from the model. So the way you have this is you train the model by giving it the think part and the response part. The model learn how to think and respond at the same time. And this is kind of a chain of thought that we talk about. So this structure here is from the training set given to the model. So the model knows now that when I get a question, I need to have a thinking step before having the response step. And this thinking step is augmenting the accuracy of the model in some sense. So as you can see here, I don't know why he's overthinking the message, but in general, at the end he said, yeah, looks okay. How can I assist you and everything? Yeah. And then the last technique we'll be seeing in this video is actually React prompting. So here, for example, we have a simple prompt with thought, act, observation, thought, act, observations. And this will give the model, as in chain of thought, a process of solving problems, right? And when the model will get a new input, he will go through the same steps, follow the same process to solve the problem. Here, the process is an organized thought with one act, some kind of action that the model will do, observation from both of the thought and the act, same, and at the end you get an output from the model. So this makes the model also more accurate, same as the chain of thought. So you have much more prompting techniques, and I will put this link in the description. You can learn a bit more about all these prompting techniques there. A bit more about RAG. We'll come through it later. And yeah, so from there, I think just with few short prompting, with chain of thought, and with React prompting, you can actually write extremely good prompts. And with what I explained during the 0 shot prompting phase, you have, I think, the knowledge to actually create really great prompts. But what I have to say as well is you need to balance the length of the prompt with the price, right? It's like a threshold that you need to find, because writing really long prompts costs a lot of money, because you're sending the prompt every time. We have prompt caching now, but in some cases you need to send the prompt every time. And if you have to send a prompt that costs $1 every time, your app will cost a lot to the users at the end. So you need to be specific in your description, but you need to take into account the price of having a really long input token as well. So if you have any question, you can put them in the comment section below. Yeah, thank you for watching. And in the next part, we'll be exploring now each of these providers' API. We'll go through OpenAI API, Anthropic, Google, DeepSeek, xAI, Drog, all of the providers' API, and go in depth in everything you need to know. So we'll take, for example, OpenAI API, go through all the functions that they provide in their SDK, and I will show you how to use them in real-world applications. And then afterward, we'll go through all other providers, and then have a quick overview of LLM frameworks like LangChain, Haystack, and Llama Index, and then we'll create a project at the end in the next module. So if you're excited as me to reach that module, don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.